Hello. Hello and welcome back, you guys, to another episode with Ian Bailey. Sorry if it sounds like I'm whispering. I'm like in my living room right now. We're currently in a snowstorm right now. So like I'm like trapped in my house basically. um where I live in Virginia, so like we got like a ton of snow today. And but I don't think it was a lot. Like everyone was saying it was gonna be like 15 to like 5 to like 15 inches or whatever, and I was like, okay, I guess we'll see. But it's really not that bad. It's really pretty though. um but yeah, it's doable, it's manageable. But I was gonna actually do this video outside and do like a little like winter episode in like the snow because I thought it'd be really pretty, but it's like 20 degrees, so I was like, okay, let me not do that. And I thought about like wearing like a winter outfit in here since it's like snowing outside, and like wearing like a jacket, but I was like, I'm gonna get too hot. So maybe I'm just, a bad host overall. I think a little like fireplace would have been cute right here, but we don't have like logs for that. So I'm really sorry that this is bare bones, but I hope you can still enjoy this video just as much as me. So for today's topic, also sorry if you hear banging. I have upstairs neighbors who have kids and no sense of spatial awareness whatsoever. But I try to be cool. I try not to blame them. I'm like, they're kids, they're young, they're free. So, but it's a little bit hard to stay grateful when it's like 8 in the morning and like your ceilings are like rattling. But it's also just because it's an old building, so you just have to deal with it. But sorry if you hear anything, just in advance. But for today's episode, I was like, you know what? Since I want these people to get to know me a little bit more and know all of my insides and outs and what makes me human and a person, I was like, let's not talk about the one thing I feel like we can all relate on these days, and that is anxiety. I may or may not put like a word thing there, I don't really know, but anxiety. And I don't have to explain her. Also, am I in focus? Probably not, but like again, I'm kidding. But I don't have to introduce her. We all know that girl anxiety. We all have beef with that girl anxiety, and we all just want to do a lot of bad things to that girl anxiety. And honestly, it's just normal. But it is something that has kind of been ongoing and like kind of like, I don't want to say like taken over my life, but like it's become a lot more prominent these days. And there's a lot of reasons, I feel like, for me personally, and a lot of reasons for, I think, people in general. So if this isn't going to be like a advice session, um I'm not, I'm like studying psychology, but like as of right now, like I can't really like tell you like what to do. These are the things that I kind of just go through personally, and what I've kind of come up with to work with that, and kind of just how I am in my personality. Because I think from what I hear when I always talk to people, they're always like, oh, like you just seem so like extroverted, and like you're just so like nice and unserious. And it's like, well yes, this is true. But then also, I didn't always used to be like this, one. And then two, everybody like has like, maybe not everybody, because like some people just aren't, but like also when you're out in public or like with people or new people, everyone kind of tends to put on like a little mask and be like, how are you, oh my god, how are the kids, like stuff like that. It's just like, and then I'm not saying that's like me and like I have one on like 24/7, but like sometimes I think it's like just subconscious, and just because like the need to be like approved and to be like liked kind of takes over. So like subconsciously, like I put on a mask. But I don't really know, maybe that's what we're gonna find out in today's episode. But episode, what I keep calling it episode, I guess that's kind of what it is. But this isn't necessarily a podcast. I'm just kidding. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay in denial, guys. I'm not embarrassed by like it, but like I don't want to, whatever, I'm not getting into it, you don't care. Okay, so the first note that I have, kind of, I was going to talk about, was kind of my uprising, and I guess how I kind of became a little bit anxious growing up. I would definitely say like early on, like literally from when I was like a little kid, like I've always kind of been like really like shy and quiet and like kept to myself vibes. And that's just like my nature. Like I think I've always just been like very like kind of kept to myself. I think that's because like, one, like I'm an only child, and then two, like it's just like I don't really know. But also, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, um, kind of just like, I guess, environment and stuff like that was, how it was, like I've, separate parents and like, switching houses and like all these other things. Obviously, life with, different types of people, those influences can, rub off on you and, give you like, certain anxieties that you didn't have before and stuff like that. Obviously, because being a kid, it's your formative years. That's where you learn, like, that's where you're like experiencing a ton of stuff that like sticks with you for like the rest of your life, types of stuff. But like right off the bat, like I definitely would always say like I was kind of born an anxious person. Um, and it wasn't ever anything crazy. Like I never had like panic attacks as a kid. I would just always be super, super nervous. Like just very like tentative and like just nervous all the time about like everything. And over time like it kind of went away. Like I feel like elementary school, middle school, like I was fine. Middle school though, like I want to say like seventh or eighth grade is like when it got kind of bad, and I started like realize it. I would literally, okay, so this will be a story for another day, but in middle school I was doing little YouTube videos as well. And I had a certain couple of videos actually kind of go around the school, and I actually got I almost said expelled. I got suspended because of it, but this is story time for another day. But I would definitely say like in eighth grade when all that was kind of happening, like, I was getting a lot of attention from people and stuff like that. And people would come up to me and like ask me questions or be like, oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. Like you said this in the video, blah, and other things. And like, I would like literally like freeze. Like I literally did not know how to, like if somebody would come up to me and it was like, like somebody didn't talk to you, like I would just be like, like I would literally just stand awkward because I didn't know what to say. Like I was that socially awkward. And like, it just was like, I don't know. I think it's just always been because like growing up and being kind of like really quiet as a kid and stuff, and then just kind of like, I think it's just like my fear of like being perceived or like my fear of like not of being judged or like not liked. So that kind of gets in my way a lot, or that used to get in my way, and that's why I think I used to be really like really socially anxious to the point where like I couldn't have a conversation, or like like how everybody is these days because like everyone's chronically online, or like Gen Z grew up on their phones and stuff, so they don't know how to have conversations with people like in real life. That's how I was for a minute. Like not gonna lie, like I would literally go up and like try and like order something and like be like or I'd be the person to be like, oh, like I'm too scared to do it, you know what I mean? But like now that I'm older, I'm like, girl, like it's not that big of a deal. Like literally okay, I'll get to this later, but but yeah, that's when like I think I really realized I was like, holy crap, like I suffer from like a little bit of anxiety or like social awkwardness, which is normal. Like I was a teenager, like I was in middle school, so let me make sure this is recording. um I was like going through puberty and whatnot, so like during those times that like makes total sense for me to feel that way. But after that, like high school, I think freshman, sophomore, junior year, like I was fine. By junior year and senior year, that's when like I like broke out of my shell like completely, because junior and senior year, well, sophomore, junior, senior year, I was a cheerleader at my high school. And like being a cheerleader, you're gonna be in the crowd, you're gonna be like, like in front of people cheering and making noise, and like, and I was the only boy on the team, so a lot of, I don't want to be like, oh, eyes are on me, but like a lot of eyes were on me. So like I think doing that really got me out of my shell a lot. And like I was like, after that I was like, psh, like I don't give a fuck. Because another thing is like I hate like talking about myself because it's like I feel like I'm bragging or whatever, but like people are always telling me too, they're like, oh, like you just like seem like you're something about like your energy, you know what I mean? Like people always just kind of told me, I have a welcoming energy, I'm very friendly, and like I know I am, like I know that I have a good personality, but I just like I still just get really, really like shy and like nervous to show it, I guess, or like I don't know. I think I just always try to like be like really perfect and like, oh, like okay, like relatable, oh, like funny, oh, like nice, like, oh, like he's very friendly, like very approachable vibes, because one, I am, but then two, like I don't know, like I think it's just kind of like um a people pleaser type of thing. That's definitely what it is, because that's definitely what I am, and I've been told that I am a million times. But like, you guys, like, is it so bad to be a good person? Like, it can be, and I've learned that the hard way multiple times, many times, and that's just life. That's just life. But I would definitely say that, and then what is I want to say, yeah, but like senior year, like I was like out of my shell. Like I was like going up to well, not going up to everybody. I became a lot more extroverted, and it was a lot more easy for me to like talk to people and stuff like that. Um, But yeah, I would definitely kind of say like I was just definitely born with kind of anxious tendencies. I've always been like a nervous person because I think I just crave control, especially when it comes to like. Wait, that might be my next note. Let me not get ahead of myself. Because that was upbringing. So I guess yeah, like talked about social anxiety, and then kind of anxious thoughts. So that kind of like leans into the next thing. So like social anxiety, I still get to this day. Like just I don't really like being like when I go to like areas with like big um, crowds of people. Like my mom and I got season tickets to all the NFL Commanders games out here, and like we went during the season, and like I get so anxious and overwhelmed because there's just so much happening around me, and it freaks me out. And it's not like I like have a panic attack or anything like that, but I just get very like tense and like very uptight, and like I don't know, like stuff like that kind of stresses me out a little bit, but like I don't get like too freaked out about it. But I think a lot of my anxiety just comes from myself, you know. Um, let me okay. Um, Anxious thoughts, ruminating thoughts, you know, the things that we all go through as human beings, and just like it's just life in general. It's normal. It's a normal thing. But what I've learned is, and you're probably like, well, duh, that's common sense. But like, you guys have to remember that like I am now just starting to break out of a bubble that I was concealed in for like I want to say like the last 5 years of my life of me kind of just living like like I've been here, but like I just haven't been present. And like I said in like one of my other videos, it's like it feels like my balls have dropped, and like you know like I'm starting to like cut that filter off, and I'm like whoa, like you know like growing and changing because I'm getting older, so I'm starting to realize these things more and more. But I would definitely say like a lot of it is self-induced. I'm a very anxious person when it comes to self-image, how I'm perceived. Like I said, I think that becomes a lot of the people pleaser mentality stuff. But like I'm very like I want to say that like I don't know. I'm just always very concerned about how I'm being perceived by somebody else, and how I come off to somebody. And I will stay up late at night thinking about like, oh, does this person like me? Did I do this okay in front of this person? You know, am I being a good role model? Am I like, do I come off as like this or that? Like stuff like that. And it's kind of like, okay, like it's kind of stupid. It's like, okay, why are you like worried about that? Why are you worried about other people? But like, I don't know. It's just how I am. Other things would definitely be like, you know, like just kind of like stuff in life, and then like you know the uncertainty of the world, and like day-to-day life and stuff like that. Like you know I was watching a lot of true crime over last summer, and it was like crazy to me that like a lot of these like cases were like people that were just like going about their days, or like you know like everyday people who had like terrible awful things happen to them, and I'm just like holy crap, like that literally could have been me. Like I literally could have been like walking to the gas station and gotten abducted and then tortured, and like you know bad stuff happened to me. Like it's like really crazy and stuff like that. So I had to like stop watching stuff like that because like I get anxious, and it's also just really really sad what happens to those people. But like stuff like that, like you know, it's just like oh my god, what if I get in my car and then you know I get in a crash and I don't come home? Like that's just kind of, and I know that might be like grim, and it's like oh my god, you're being dramatic. One, that literally can happen. You literally don't know. Like you don't know. Two, wait, there's not. Well, okay, that could happen. Two, I feel like it's normal to be aware of that, but not to be like constantly thinking about that. You know what I mean? Um, but like that's kind of what I've been having to like learn and teach myself, is that like a lot of the stuff that I worry about on the daily, is just a lot of it, you know, is like harsh, realistic facts, but like it's stuff that you don't have to like constantly think about, because the more you think about it, obviously the more you're gonna obsess about it, and the more anxious you're gonna get. So I'm like, I could, you know, walk out one day and be like, oh my god, this may be the last time I ever like set foot on the ground, or like drive back to this house, or you know, I could be like, you know, anything could happen, but like that's okay, because you like literally you don't know. So I would definitely say like uncertainty is, you know, the thing that drives me absolutely crazy, as it does for everybody, because you know we all want to be certain about like what's to come next, or just like anything to protect ourselves. It's a normal thing. But I've had to, you know, come to my sad conclusion that I can't control everything in life, and I'm just like ugh, it freaking sucks. But like kind of just having that mentality has definitely helped me a lot with kind of overcoming it, because it's just like yeah, you don't know, but instead of trying to think about all of the things that could happen, and that might not happen or can happen. Like it's at the end of the day, like it's just not really worth it. Like yes, like anxiety, like is there, like it's a, obviously it's a protection mechanism that our body like has for us, you know, to predict these type of things or to be cautious of danger, because you know that's the way we just survive back in the ancient times. But now it's, you know, not just like we're surviving like hunting in the wild. It's, we know we're dealing with like stress from jobs, stress from relationships, stress with health, stress with, you know, just world, like the inconveniences and state of the world right now. So it's a lot of other things, and that's why like you've probably definitely heard or like seen that like anxiety has skyrocketed over the years, especially in our generation, because of all of the things we are exposed to because of this, you know, stuff like that. Which brings me to my next point. I want to say like another thing that like definitely has kind of piqued my anxiety and that I've noticed was doom scrolling, which I'm sure you all have heard of by now. And like it's kind of just like subconscious. Like yeah, again, it's a subconscious thing, and it's not even on purpose. Like I know a lot of us like use social media, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, like all these other things, and like, you know, you'll be scrolling on there and like see happy posts, and then the next minute you'll see like something crazy happen, like somebody like get hit by a car, or like somebody like hurt themselves in a crazy way, and like your brain is like shocked for like 2 seconds, and then you just scroll to like cupcakes and rainbows, you know, the next second, and it's like, I'm sure like you've seen the like memes or like the things people say that's like literally not good for you. Like literally your brain is not wired to be processing all these things at the same time. And I'm like, holy crap, that actually makes so much sense. That's why like I don't really use TikTok a whole lot anymore, just because it's like, one, it just overstimulates me way too much. Two, and it's just like I feel like there's so much negativity, like especially in the world today, especially online, that it's just like if you keep looking at it, like you literally will get physically drained, dude. Like it's just like after a while it just gets so annoying, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like you don't want to have to deal with all this negativity, because although you might not be dealing with it personally, I feel like, at least for me, I see it, and then I'm like I feel like I am, you know, it's like another weight that's been added to my shoulders for a problem that's not even mine. But that's just kind of how it feels. And it's like seeing like, you know, wars happening and all these crazy things that are going on with this administration and all the awful things that are happening to these people out there. It's like, wow, like it just, after a while it takes a toll. And like I'm 20 years old, like see, like yeah, like growing up, and like, you know, I'm part of the real life now and like adult life and stuff like that, but at the same time it's just like, wow, like this is it, it scares you, because it's like, wow, like this is my future, like I have to like live with this for like the next, you know, like hopefully like like 70, 80 years. Well, not like hopefully like with everything that's going on now, but you know, like these are just the realities, and just, you know, like your mind starts to go to those places where it's like, wow, like nothing's ever gonna get better, this is just like the end times, dude, because that's really what it feels like. So I've been trying not to like interact with that kind of media. I know it's like really forced on you, but like what I've done is like I've kind of done my best to kind of like block those types of things, so I don't like see it. It doesn't come up on my explore pages or anything like that. Obviously, like I still keep up with like a lot of the news and stuff like that, just so you can be aware. But like it's definitely not like, don't like go scrolling like for like through all the comment sections of all these like people on this post or whatever, like because it's just like, I don't know, it's just really not good for you, like, and it really just kind of puts your mind in like a state that it really shouldn't be in. And you just kind of don't need that. You don't need that kind of interaction, baby. You need to be happy. We need to be happy with, as much as and crazy as everything is, you know, like we have to stick together and we have to remain positive in times like these, by Addison Rae. Um, but yeah, like I would definitely say my anxiety's gotten a lot better. I've never been to the point where I've taken medication. I was considering it last year, the last couple of years, because I've been kind of dealing with some personal things where like it's kind of, I'm like, okay, maybe like, you know, I should get on some medication, and like, you know, maybe it'll help me out a little bit more. But I still haven't done it. I'm not like opposed to it. I've never really been like against it, but I just have never considered it. Um, what was I talking about? Medication. Oh yeah. Therapy. I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos, but like I used to go to therapy. But I don't anymore. I used to go to therapy when I was younger. And then I went, oh my god, I'm sorry, I keep like fidgeting with this. I just don't want my legs to look really weird on camera. You guys like my wool socks, by the way? They're green. This kind of is a part of the winter outfit, and then I have my beanie on. Ouch, my knee. so you can't say that I didn't put in any effort. I do love you guys. Um, but I've just never really like taken the steps to like get on the medication and stuff like that because I'm just like, too much work. But I think I'm in a good place now. I have been wanting to get back into therapy. I was seeing a therapist for like 2 weeks, like a month or two ago, but like I just couldn't with my schedule, so I got to get that figured out. But then I do plan on going eventually, just to kind of like everyone can benefit. I mean, it might not work for everybody, but like I definitely think everybody should try it out at least once or twice, and just see if it's for you, because I think it definitely could benefit people. I keep hearing noises. Um, but yeah, like I think definitely these days I've just kind of gotten to the point where it's just like being trapped, because I spent like the last 2 years, because I've just been dealing with so much kind of ruminating on things from the past. That is my biggest issue, at least these days, is like keep thinking about instances from the past of like, oh, this happened with this person, this is how I felt during this time, this person did this to me. Like I was just sitting with those thoughts for like months and months on end, and I was like, damn, like why is nothing getting better? Like why am I always like feeling like this? And then I was like, wait, it's because I keep thinking about it. Like it's okay when you go through crazy things to obviously think about it, heal from it, learn from it, but to ruminate on it for months and months, like that's just not good for you. Like it's really not good for you. And like you're probably like, oh, like duh, like why would you do it in the first place? But like you guys have to realize I take everything personally. I will like, I don't know, especially like obviously if you're like kind of treated wrong or like put in a bad position, like I feel like when stuff like that happens, you kind of just are like thinking about all of like the reasons and like what you did wrong, even if you didn't do anything wrong. Even if you didn't do anything wrong, or I mean, that's how I do it. But it's just like what I've learned is just kind of like like move on from it. And like I ever since like this new year, I was like, we're leaving all the stuff that's been happening to me like last year. Like I mean, it's just not healthy to bring like old stuff into the new year, like, and just resonate and sit with that, because it like takes a toll on your body, it takes a toll on your mental, and you just don't need that type of stress. So ever since then, honestly, with that mindset, like I've been like pretty good. Like I have my moments obviously still where I'm like, damn, or like I'm like really thinking about something, but like overall I'm like, it's just, it is what it is. I mean, like it really is. It's just like thinking about it's not going to change anything. Like you can't do anything about something that's already happened. You just have to work on it for the future. And yeah, and with like all the outside stuff, and like just the fear and doing things out of fear, like it's just like um I'm like, you just kind of have to like not be scared of it. Like it's okay to be scared of it, but like you know I've had to learn the hard way to like not do things out of fear, or like not do things because I am scared. This year I really 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 want to work on like doing things that I'm scared to do, um which is going to be really hard and uncomfortable, but I'm really ready to do it. This is like low-key like one of the things, um but I don't know. It's like still, you would get it. But yeah, just kind of like shifting that mindset and trying not to like do and like live in so much fear, because it really like you waste so much time. Like I was like, the year flew by, like last year flew by because I spent all of it inside of my head, literally, like the entire year. Like I was like, I don't even like remember half. I think I remember a lot of it, but I'm like, it went by so fast because like I was just thinking about so many things, and like I didn't even feel like I was like experiencing like living life, because I was just in my head the entire time. And I don't want to do that anymore, because it's just like a waste of time, and time is precious, and so is life. So but yeah, we're doing much better these days. And I don't know, I want to say, well, my camera's about to die. I think I'm gonna let it and then come back. But I was gonna say, like, I don't know if people perceive me like right off the bat, like probably not, because like I said, like I'm very good kind of when it comes to other people, and like really when I am really comfortable with you, then like I'm fine. But like a lot of people probably don't, or like you guys are like, yeah, we can tell, know that I'm like super super anxious, just because I don't really show it, especially online. But that's just because like I don't really know like how I would show it online, like, you know what I mean? Like how am I gonna like show you that I'm an anxious person online, like, if you don't know who I am? But I think a lot of other people could be like, oh, like I could definitely see that too. um but like I don't know, I've been trying to change that. Like it's just not because like other people are saying it, but no, I'm kidding. But just because I want to change that, and I just don't want to be like that anymore. So but we're working on it, you guys, and I feel a lot better these days. But if you know, like if you're ever having kind of like anxious thoughts and like anxious worries or just like being anxiety in general, like I said, you know, it's totally normal to experience it because everyone experiences some sort of anxiety about something. Even if they say they don't, that's just not possible because you're a human being. I mean, you may not like be like thinking about it all the time, but like you'll be anxious at some point in your life because it's just normal for us. But it's just like experience it, feel it, but then you know, after that, be like, okay, and like, what if? Like, okay, like you don't know, you literally have like no proof of like what's gonna happen. So like why waste your time worrying about it? You know what I mean? Um, I'm like waiting for my mom to turn the corner so I could be like, but I told her I locked her in her room because I was filming. I was like, you're not getting out of here. No, I'm kidding. But she's probably been also listening to me this entire time, but I really don't care. But yeah. So 3 more minutes left on my camera until my camera dies, y'all. I told you I'm keeping these below 30 minutes. Well, I'm not really trying to, but like I kind of just don't want to have to deal with like starting my camera over at the same time. But I pretty much said what all I had to say anyways. But yeah. Sorry if this is kind of like a boring video where it was just like, oh, like he's so deep and anxious, but I just wanted to get those out because it's like I feel like it's kind of cool to talk, not like cool, but like it's like, you know, normal thing to talk about and stuff like that. And like I feel like just again, like I just want people to kind of get to know who I am as a person and stuff like that, and the things that like, you know, I go through and how my mind works. And yeah, like the part of that was me being a very socially anxious person, and I still am, but like anxiety is a normal thing, but kind of just sharing with you guys like kind of what goes through my head. And that was the end half of it, not gonna lie, but like I just, for time's sake, I'm not gonna go through all of it. Probably in another video I'll bring it up, but yeah, that was all for this video. So but yeah, before my camera dies, I want to let you guys know that I do leave for New York in like 3 or 4 days, so then I will be getting those videos up soon. This is the last week of January, so like I literally have like, I'm posting 5 videos instead of 10. I don't know if I said that, but my goal was 10, but now it's 5 because I just don't have enough time because I got my mic so late. So I only have 2 more videos to film, and they're gonna be the ones in a special place. Actually, I think I already said it. I already said I was gonna be in New York. If I didn't, I'm going to New York. Okay, for my birthday. Okay, cat's out of the bag. I think I just ruined it, but like I don't even care anymore. So, but I'm so excited for those. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be uploading this tonight, and then by next week, which will be like the other videos should be up. If not, you can cancel me. You can report me. Actually, just kidding. Please don't. Because I love you guys and I love doing this. So, with that being said, I have 50 seconds to give you my intro. I love you. And if you're anxious and you need a hand, I'm here for you. But in the meantime, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get out of my house because I'm snowed in and there's ice on the ground. And I have to go to work at 12 tomorrow. But yeah. Anyways, I love you and I will see you next time. Good night.